Hello everyone and welcome back to B.Studios. My name is Maranatha and as usual here we talk about all things Nollywood. Nollywood movies, Nollywood series. If that's your cup of tea, this is the place to be. Ooh, I'm so excited today because I have a couple of things to talk about. I'm recommending movies as I always do. 3 movies, and maybe I should start there before I say the thing I'm excited about so that I can crash out well. Honestly, I saw a couple of movies and I had a full-on crash out. Like, I was so annoyed. Like, and then I entered comments and I was seeing takes and I was like, wait, is everybody okay? Are we all responsible adults with this behavior? No, I couldn't believe what I was saying. Okay, the first one I want to talk about is For Better For Worse. This one I've seen it a while back, but I don't know why I forgot to talk about it when I was reviewing. And it's on Only Good Films. Or have I talked about it? I don't think I have. If I have, it doesn't matter. I'll talk about it again. For Better For Worse. This one starred Blossom Chukwujeku and Lilos. That's Lydia Lawrence. I think that's her name. And it's on Only Good Films TV on YouTube. This film, let me just tell you, if you've not seen it by now, I'm so sorry because it's been almost a month now that it has come out. But I think it's such a good movie because every time I check it and I see the views, I'm so annoyed. I'm like, this movie should have crossed the 1 million mark like 30 long ago. Anyway, this film stars this couple played by Blossom and Lilos. So they are a happily married couple, let me put it in quotes. But they didn't have a child, right? They didn't have a child. And the guy, very supportive husband. The girl, like when they started, I thought, everybody, they were doing okay. But then I think that as time went on, she got pregnant. Then, I think they've been having like miscarriages. It's not like she was getting pregnant, but they were losing the baby. So this time around, when she got pregnant again, there's still that fear, like, what if something goes wrong and all of that stuff, which is, normal. But the guy, he kept his hopes high, he was still positive and all that good stuff. And, but there was this weirdness, there's this weirdness around this girl. I'm like, is it that she doesn't want the child? What's going on? But she seemed in trouble. There's just this weirdness. And I think that was good acting on Lila's part because you didn't know what was wrong, but you knew that there was an air of, there was just something weird. Anyway, she went now. And one day, they went to the hospital, they were checking on the baby and all of that. And then the doctor was like, everything is okay. But then they wanted to tell her some things and they had to excuse the husband. Which raised my eyebrow, like, what's happening there? Before children, they say they don't lose or something like that. But, I think she had come up with a story that, she didn't want him to know about her personal, whatever, until they were like 10 years in marriage. And the guy, like I said, good guy, very respectful of her choices as one should be. So he just agreed and he left. But anyway, let me not take too much time. But you can tell that I'm really fascinated by this story because I'm going into details, so much details. Anyway, they unfortunately for them, they lost that baby again. And then she came out, the guy was like, he saw that she had lost the baby, it was sad and all of that stuff. But a couple of days later, the girl is like, she's getting back to work. I mean, in my mind, I just thought that like coping mechanism, some people, everybody deals with grief in different ways, find different ways to cope with whatever it is that they are feeling because, sometimes it's like when you're busier, like if you go to work and put your attention on something else, it can distract you. I don't know, depending on whatever it is. But there was still this weirdness around this girl and what was going on. I'm like, what is it? Anyway, their life continued, but she was not so distant, so drawn away from the husband. And she was telling the guy that, since they can't have time. And I was thinking that she was just dealing with grief. See, I'm talking this story too much. I really want people to go check it out because I loved all the nuances in this film. Anyway, let's cut the long story short. The guy found out that certain things that she had done in the past was what was causing her to lose their children. And in that moment, I think it was fear. It was fear that caught the girl. She now decided that if she pushes him away first, him pushing her away will not hurt her. And this girl went on a tirade. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was so upset. this is one of those things that you can't, like, the man was just a good man through and through, and I was like, shit, how this girl go they make him why this girl go they do something like this, go they make person look the man and the anyway, the girl went in a tirade and she was just misbehaving. And I know that it was because she was trying to protect herself, but which brings me to talk about how there's so much fear about being vulnerable. And I'm saying this even to myself, about being vulnerable with the people that care about you. And the truth is that even if eventually you find out they don't care about you, it's so, you see, pain is part of what makes us human. And I know people don't like to hear it. It's like, I beg you, who want to experience pain continuously? And that is true. Pain, it is hurtful. We don't want to feel pain. But sometimes let yourself feel. For fear that something wrong will happen, you now decide not to, like, to first of all be the wrong that will happen to it first. You first of all gave the Oha before Oha came. I'm just like, so she did all of that, and the thing really messed them up. But even after the nonsense that she did, this guy was still willing to forgive. He was still willing to keep going. He was still willing to try. But then she did one major mess up. I was like, shit, this one, there's no coming back from it. And I just loved the way they ended the movie. I loved the movie so much. I believe there was a lady that wrote the man's character. You can tell sometimes when a lady writes about a man, writes a male character, you can tell the care. You can this guy. Now I'm not saying that everybody we should push everybody to the wall and do whatever. I'm not saying that, but I'm like somebody that genuinely cares. This guy was somebody that genuinely cares. He was willing to be there, like whatever it is. He was there. No. For better, for worse, on YouTube. Go check it out. The next one I want to talk about is this Bolaji Ogunmola film, A Flicker of Us. Oh my God, this. I don't know what to say. I was annoyed. I was vexed. Anyway, A Flicker of Us starred Bolaji, Bam Bam, and Ayola. It was nice to see Ayola again. This film followed two friends, like from their secondary school days, that they had such big plans. They wanted to go to school, an opportunity. They wanted, like, the world was their oysters now as they were young. But unfortunately, one of them had a good. So they were offering scholarship for people to go abroad to the first three. One of them was first position, and then the second one was fourth position, and then, it just automatically means that one of them won't be able to go. And then the one that was first position unfortunately made some very, very silly decisions and got pregnant. Crazy, right? And we are human beings, and to be honest, I don't think there's anybody that has never had some sort of jealousy, or even felt like you wanted something that somebody else had. If you say that you've never, you're a liar, and you need to give your life to Christ. Anyway, but the issue is acting upon those feelings. God help us. Anyway, so the one that that they failed, when that one that tell her that, oh, this is what happened, though, I got pregnant. She was very vexed, which as normal. How can you do this? The opportunity that you have, and me, I'm looking for this opportunity. I didn't get it. You had it on a plate of good. Now you're going to throw it away. And the next thing, this girl went to go and report her to the authorities, and two gay for she took the girl's place. Now, you can explain however it is, but I personally, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with going to go and tell. I don't agree with that. Yeah, if the school found out, of course they would have found out one way or the other. They would have found out, because usually with all these things they do medical testings and stuff. They would have found out, and the girl would have gone, and you would have gotten that opportunity without hurting your friend in the process. But what do I know? I'm just a person with an opinion. Anyway, so later on, in this girl, the one that was pregnant, had to stay back in the village and stayed back with the other one's mother for 15 years. By default, she was the one taking care of that one's mother. That one cut communication and whatnot. And unfortunately, the other one that took that reported and took let me just give them their names. So the one that reported to the authorities, her name is Tiwa, and the one that stayed back, her name is the one that reported, her name is Lala, and the one that stayed back is Tiwa. So Lala eventually was able to, leave the country, and she got married, but unfortunately she was not able to have a child. While the other one that was pregnant had twins and was back in the country. So when this one came back now, she came back from outside the country with her mom. The Lala's mom unfortunately passed away, and then she came back hey, this is spoilers, so let them not arrest me. Anyway, unfortunately came back to the village to come and bury her, mom, and do last respect. Then she found Tiwa back in the house there. Then they now did their makeup, and I feel like this. Anyway, let me just finish. They did their makeup and all of that, and then she said she wanted to take Tiwa to the city, or the Tiwa was already, she and her children were already prepared to go to America or something like that. So that one told them they should come to the city, they will help them and all of that stuff. They came to the city. But before then, the husband, because she came with her husband, and when the Tiwa introduced herself, the husband recognized her name. Ashe, the husband is the person that had the one night stand with her in the past and was the father of her children. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. I was like, where do we go from here? Anyway, they went back to the city, and the husband confessed to his wife that this is the situation. He thinks he's the father of this girl's children. The first thing that my friend, that Lala would do, is she would tell the husband that he should not tell her anything. And that was where I think that if there was even any atom of, hope I had for the Lala, at that point I was like, nah, I'm over it. I'm over it. Because the next thing, this girl was like, they should hide this thing. This Tiwa was just living in ignorance. She didn't know what was going on. But there was something about this guy. Every time she saw him, there was this kind of recognition, but she didn't know who he was. But there was just something familiar about him. Anyway, long story cut short, there was drama. Tiwa and Lala's husband unfortunately got into it, and yeah, Tiwa was so wrong on that part, because but I will never excuse wrongdoing in any way and manner, because what is wrong is wrong. But yeah, my qualms with this film was how people were excusing Lala of guilt. They were like, somebody even said this is not something that happened 15 years ago, and it made me, I was looking in comment section, I was looking for if any of my friends is there talking shit so that we can fight. It made me realize how people don't rate friendships. I don't care. It made me realize how people don't rate friendships. They don't commit enough, they don't invest enough into friendship the way they will invest into their relationships or their marriages, because now it doesn't matter. Because this girl was ready to throw her friend that she hurt 15 years ago away, and she was just even trying to make up. But her husband that partook in this thing with the girl, she was ready to forgive. She didn't care. She was like, it's okay. And I'm like, why are you people like this? I believe that every relationship, the relationship you have with your parents, relationship you have with your friends, relationship you have with your spouse, you invest effort, time and effort into all relationships. I don't know where we got this notion that only romantic relationships deserve attention. I don't know where we got this from. And honestly, it's so embarrassing to me. That's what I got from this film. I think that it was ridiculous. But it was such a great, fantastic one, because it caused so much debate, so much conversation. And I'm like, man, as a people, we all need to do better. We all need to do better. When it comes to friendships and even in our choices, the decisions we make, we all need to do better. You can tell how triggered I was about this film, because I've gone on a whole tirade. It just made me think about several things. Yeah, and that is, what's the mother film? A Flicker of Us. I think it was very nice. It was very, very nice. Like movies that will get you talking. That's this one. And then the last film I'll be talking about today is Monica. God. As if I was not angry enough last Friday. Then Saturday came. I said, let me use this one to unwind before I sleep, and then I will go to church the next day. Come and see. Anyway, Monica starred Uche Montana, and if you know this channel, you know that she's my girl for life. He stars Uche Montana, starred what's his name, Johnny Kanem, stars Blessing Onwuku, and a bunch of other people. I mean, I thought it was just normal escape from poverty type story. I don't know that the shege that was in store. Anyway, so Monica was the title character that was played by Uche. She came from a family where she was like the first daughter. This is not the first film that Uche is playing the first daughter and showing like the throes and the woes of first daughter. But this one just took me on a journey. I was so pissed. Anyway, she was taking care of her family, and all this kind of families where there's so much burden on the first daughter. And when she was 21, she had somebody that liked her, that wanted to marry her. This was played by Johnny Kanem's character. He liked her, he wanted to marry her. But the mother was telling her that she was young and that the guy wanted to use her and whatnot. See, I personally, I don't know if I'm completely in support of somebody getting married at 21, but like the reasons they were telling her not to get married was ridiculous. Like where they were, and I think where they were, getting married at 21 was like, something that could happen, especially with the fact that it's not like she was going to school or that she had like big plans or they were doing anything. In fact, getting married at that time probably would have saved her. I don't know, maybe you will have become an idiot later, I don't know, but it will have saved her from the home where there was so much expectations on her. But they didn't let her go. They said, oh, she's too young. But they didn't even say she's too young. They said she has to take care of her family and that the guy was going to misbehave, all sort of nonsense. She now said okay, she refused to marry the guy. The guy now, I think the guy said he was going to travel and all of that. She now said she was going to wait for him. 15 years passed. Monica still did that village. She was still, they were still telling her that the responsibility of the family is on her shoulder. Monica is now 36 years old. I think one of the parts that triggered me the most in this film was that one guy came back and was asking her, Monica, you still did this village? And she said yes. And I wanted to marry you that time. You refused. I'm like, what sort of bloody nonsense is this one talking about? Anyway, she was stuck in this village and all of that stuff. And then the family they were still saddling her with the responsibilities. There was everything she was doing was still from her family. She just remained small and all of that. This is not even about marriage. It's about how she could have been so much more. She couldn't go to school because she had to drop out of school to work and take care of her siblings. See. Oh, I'm already getting triggered talking about this film again. I think that families, parents, whoever, I don't know, whoever it is, society, everyone needs to come to an understanding that nobody, let's even leave first daughter or first children, nobody should be saddled with the responsibility of taking care of their siblings. I'm sorry. Like, there are people that, you care for your siblings. Caring for your siblings and just wanting to take care of your family is normal, should be just something that, you want to do. Shouldn't be like a responsibility that they will put upon you and tell you that if you're not doing that, you are not you're not a responsible person. I think that it is too much. I see it. I teach children, and I see some children that just feel like they have to take care of their younger sisters, which, like I said, is not a bad thing to want to take care of your siblings. But when it becomes like, if you don't take care of your siblings, you are a bad child or you're not being responsible, I think that is crazy, because these children, they don't get to even have a childhood because they are too busy mothering and catering to their siblings, and sometimes it even absorb the younger siblings of any type of responsibility. I think it's crazy. Anyway, I'm already getting angry. Let's go back to this film. As time will go on, the younger siblings didn't feel any responsibility. They didn't feel the need to be responsible in any way or manner. In fact, they were doing their own things, and if Monica complained, they would say she was jealous, and then she was still slaving over this family that did not care. Her mother was just being absurd and ridiculous. Anyway, the Oga that traveled abroad, I already digital all of you with this whole film, but I still think you need to check it. The way I'm just thinking, it doesn't do this film justice. I think it was very good. You'll be heavily triggered, but I think it was very good. The Oga that traveled, that said wait for me, and she decided and came back, and people, guess what this Oga did? He married her younger sister. Honestly, I think at that point I actually cried. I cried in this film like 3 times. I cried 3 times. I was so emotionally about this film. I was so annoyed because this is some people's reality, and some, you know, when you come and you say, but all of the things, why I did not do this, why this, because I was taking care of my family, they will ask you who sent you. Because they legit asked her who sent her. Let me tell you, these films that I just talked about, they triggered me so much. But I really enjoyed them, and I think they actually talk about life. And if you know me, I always talk about the fact that I don't like to watch films that, you know, are realistic. But this ones, they were. And maybe that's why I cried. They were realistic. They really touched on issues that, you know, that we like to sideline, that we like to overlook and think that they are not things that are happening. And I feel especially like if you are benefiting from this. Yeah, like this film now, you see those younger siblings that always, I see people on TikTok will be saying that their younger siblings that will be telling senior siblings that maybe if a senior sibling is complaining on TikTok, they'll be like, but why you complain? That's your job. Honestly, that is to send me, it is to send me spiraling. Because what do you mean that that's your job? If everybody chooses to be irresponsible, who's going to catch me? Who is going to force me? Who will check me? If I say I'm not going to be responsible for you, what will you do? What can you do? Anyway, those are the movies I watch. Now let's come to the thing that made me excited. Drum roll, please. How do you do drum roll? I'll find the drum roll and put it under this video. I have a new movie coming out. Woo! I'm so excited. It was this time last year. In March last year, we brought out our second movie ever on Oscar B.Studios, titled Meant to Be. Our very first one was Lydia's Hurdle. If you've not seen them, please go check them out. You know, we are up and coming, but I know that we're doing better than our last. Every time we come out, the one we do now will be better than the one we did before. So we're coming out with our new movie. We've dropped the name. It's called Tisha's Blues. I really liked this movie. I worked on it tooth, nail, everything. So I hope you're excited. I hope you're subscribed. Please subscribe so that you'll be the first to see this movie when it drops. It's coming out soon. This one, you will enjoy it. I'm telling you, you will enjoy it. So subscribe, like, share, tell somebody that something juicy is coming to Oscar B.Studios very soon. And please, if you see any of our content, engage with it. Engage, share, repost. In fact, all the social media, they made it so easy for you to share these things. You don't even have to post it on your story. Just repost. But you should post it on your story, please. Repost, like, share, please subscribe. So that, because I spend so much money. CEO is tired. I spend so much money on this thing, please. I'm not getting one kobo from this YouTube. We're doing for passion, but see, passion is not the one that will make me go and rent camera again. Please, people should subscribe. All of these things are expensive to do. I know that someone will say, who sent you? No problem. I sent myself. But please help us. You don't have to spend money to support us. You don't have to spend money. You just like, share, subscribe. Use all your channels, all your YouTube, all your Gmails. Use everything to subscribe. That's all. It's free now, and I will catch you in my next one. Please like, share, and drop a comment. Bye-bye.